Welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. With over 20 years of real estate experience and selling over 150 homes a year, Laura Sanders is the #1 RE/MAX agent in the state of Florida for 2021. Join us each week as we discuss how to make money through buying and flipping homes to renting versus selling and everything in between. To join the conversation, call in live 888-994-4995, Studio A.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Today we have a host that actually has to interact with me on a lot of times, so I'm sorry for him. Anyway, we're talking today about brokerages and what brokerages mean. And when I talk about brokerages, I mean real estate brokerages. I'm a realtor, and I work for what I think, and we're just going to confirm that today, is the biggest real estate company in the world. I currently rank at number 18 in the United States for real estate agents for RE/MAX. I work for the largest RE/MAX brokerage in South Florida, so I want to welcome Ben Arce, my broker. Welcome, Ben.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah, so I figured, people, when they're picking real estate companies, they really don't know what or how to pick a real estate company when they're hiring. And a lot of times I say you're really not always hiring the real estate company, you're hiring the agent, that's number one. Right. But the unique thing about RE/MAX, in my opinion, is that we're throughout the world.
Right.
So if you say, I want you to market my property somewhere, and you go to these other brokerages, and I mean most every other brokerage,
sure.
Every. So I'm not specifically naming.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
They're not going to be able to market your property to other brokerages directly in Spain.
Right.
I can actually go into our database.
Yep.
I can pull every single agent that works for RE/MAX in Spain. I can go to Israel. I can go to Italy. So I can pick. So if you tell me that, hey, this is a really great property for vacation, I can reach out to those agents that are hitting those kind of people. We can also see who are the top producing agents like myself.
Right.
And I could reach out to them and I could say, hey, I have this $5 million property and this is a good fit because you're dealing with these kind of buyers out of Italy and they might want to come to South Florida here.
And then honestly, it happens all the time, right? I mean,
right.
we have a ton of agents in our office. And being in South Florida, we have the luxury of having a lot of international business. So a lot of the agents, they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, listen, I have a referral for wherever. So, we get a lot.
I've seen Argentina.
It's
like
obviously
crazy.
A ton in Central America, Canada being our neighbor and everything like that. The nice thing, like you said, because we have a global network, we can tap into our resources and not just find somebody, right? Not just Google, top agent in Argentina, right? Or Colombia
no,
or
and
something
that's
like
what
that.
somebody else for another brokerage would need to do.
And you can, and the problem is, because you're better than this than a lot. You have such a good relationship with your clients that if you are making that referral, you want to make that referral as warm as possible. Right. You want to do your due diligence, just like they did their due diligence whenever they started working with you. And trusted you to do the business. You're not just going to hand it off to somebody. So
right.
that's the great thing about RE/MAX and the global network that we have as a company that we all buy into, because we have those resources to kind of sort who's going to be the best fit for our clients as we make that. I mean, it's we even have our R4, our annual.
So I was going to say that. So every year, like February, right. March, right? It kind of like falls at that end of the month, beginning of the month, right? My birthday month is March. Sure. So it falls in that time. And when I went to R4, there were all these people from Israel, Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Like they were showing us like Airbnbs there and what they do.
Those were the connections I made.
Yeah. So, so they use Vegas, which is for the entire world,
right.
to come and hub there so that we could all meet.
And this year is their 50th anniversary. They're going to do it big.
Right.
I think they're going to have a record attendance. Everyone's going down, and it's making those connections. It's even learning about, honestly, some real estate that you wouldn't even think about. Because again, being in South Florida, you may have a client that says, hey, listen, I'm thinking about investing in blank, whatever it is. And it happens all the time. And if you say, I don't know, that potentially could be a kink in that confidence that they might have.
But I
in
do
you.
know an
Yeah.
agent that knows a lot about that area,
Sure.
and I
Of
can
course.
definitely connect you two together.
Absolutely.
So that, you know, I'm putting you with an expert in that area.
Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of different things. Okay, I've been doing this for over 20 years. You've been
Right.
doing this for a long time too. And I'm seeing a lot of companies over the years that are offering ownership to the
Right.
company.
Right.
I've seen that. Now, I've seen some of those companies go out of business.
Yeah.
We saw back in 2005, I think it was like 4%, list your home. They were giving cars to the agents. They're gone. Do you
People
remember
still
that
try
one?
to
I
do
can't
that.
even remember their name. Isn't that funny? I can't even remember their name.
People still try to do these things. You know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I think it's a positive and a negative. Everybody wants to be in a sales industry.
Right.
Unfortunately, salespeople, and we all get distracted. And I tell this when I mentor some of our agents with I call it the shiny object syndrome, right? So it's like the shiny object to sell you more things. It's no different on a brokerage level where brokers come and go, depending honestly on markets. If the market is, you know, we just came off a crazy seller market, so we're going to see more discount brokerages come to our market. We're coming off, you know, some crazy times in the economy where there's a lot of influx of cash, of capital, and things like that. And we're seeing Wall Street wanting to come into the business. Depending on what the economy is doing, we're always going to see people trying to come in and out of the business. And you know, and the truth is, the reality is, our business is a people-to-people business. And if we really look at the brokerages that have been around, I mean, we can comfortably say RE/MAX has been around for a very long time. They've been very strong, because I don't think they've focused on, I would say, that shiny object syndrome. You know, when they started the company, Dave Liniger, you know, back, he was the first one to say, listen, we're going to come in, we're going to give you all your commission, and you run your business as you see fit. We're gonna essentially give you this platform. You know, we all got in this business because we wanted to be entrepreneurs. We wanted to have the flexibility. We wanted, you know, unlimited income potential and things like that. But the business model was broken a few years, but 50 years ago, because half that commission that you worked so hard for, you would have to give to your brokerage, and that was the norm. If you say that today, that's not the norm. And you know, so when Dave introduced this new business model,
so that's how it was originally. See, I didn't know this. You're
Yeah.
teaching me.
Yeah,
some
yeah,
stuff.
no,
So originally they gave you all your money.
Yeah, I mean,
so how did he get paid?
So you were a true entrepreneur. You paid to, you know, to hang your license, you paid for your office, you paid for certain things. And as the years, as you know, because our industry is very fluid, you know, some of that model has changed, but it really hasn't changed the core of it. You guys are the independent contractors, you guys are out there, you guys are building your own brands, you're doing cool things like this, you know, for you. We're just a platform so you can hang your license to be legal within the state of Florida. And then just provide tools, if you want to use them, to help take your business to the next level. And it's really just back to the basics more than anything. You know, some of these brokerages, and I know them all, and I'm friends with a lot of the owners, and I have a lot of friends that are at these brokerages. Some of them are good, some of them are debatable, but you know, this is why there's vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream, strawberry ice cream. Everybody has a different flavor,
and
you know, that they like. But
well, there was brokerages that have or had been offering large lump sums to agents to come over. So now you're basically signing an agreement to stay there for an extended period of time. Then we're talking about, you know, RE/MAX. You say that some people think that the fees are high, but yet the commission splits are better, depending upon whatever you've negotiated with the broker, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's if you produce, and I said, and I get calls all the time, obviously. So we're not the best fit for everybody. We're not the best fit a lot of times for brand new agents. We're not the best fit for part-time agents. You know, we are the best fit for agents that want to make this their career. They want to be full-time agents. They want to treat it like a business. They want to operate it like a business. And whatever level you want to go, we can honestly, you know, get you there. You know, but so, you know, these other brokerages, and they're not bad, right? I mean, but these other brokerages that are offering these things, they may or may not work, but you know, time I think will tell. But I know that we've been here for a long time. You've been a RE/MAX agent for a very long time,
and I've always been a RE/MAX agent for over 20 years. So when you say other companies, right? Like who has been around longer than us? And that's okay to say.
I mean, listen, I mean, I started my career at Coldwell Banker, you know, and I can say that Coldwell Banker's been around for a very long time.
But they're not the largest
but
company.
But not the largest.
Okay.
There are some names, but I think For companies that have been around for the longest, that it's the most recognizable name, you know, I would argue, but I would argue Remax is probably
Century
the
21.
highest. Century 21, you know, and
Now,
it's
who's
and
been
it can
around
be
longer,
all
Century 20 or Remax?
that, you know, you put them that I don't know exactly
Yeah,
who's been
okay.
around longer, so I apologize. That
It's all in your head.
I know some other facts, right?
Okay.
You know, about
I don't know. Everybody knows the yellow
about the company
jacket. Even I knew the yellow jacket when I was a kid.
But what I think is important is, and you said this a little bit earlier, right? Yes, our you know, our customers. When I say our customers, listen, I sold real estate for a long time. Our customers, you know, they're hiring you, right? They want Laura Sanders, and they want everything that she brings to the table. The one thing that we don't have to compete against is when we're flying that Remax balloon behind us, or we have that Remax name behind her, we don't have to sell the company. It's the most recognizable name. It's the most trusted brand. And these are awards that Remax wins year after year after year, that when you're going on an appointment, you're not having to sell, hey, this is my company and this is why the company is great. Hey, this is me and this is why I'm great, right? So that's why a lot of times agents go, well, I don't need the brokerage because I'm great on my own. And that's, you listen, the reality is you can go wherever you want at this point in your career, you know, but having that safety net or having that stability of the Remax brand behind you, it's just, again, one more thing that you don't have to talk about. It's a very competitive business.
It is.
And
I'm a comfortable person. I mean, I had opportunities to go other places where it seems good, right? You know, building for retirement, building something for later on. But, you know, listen, most agents should be, and they're not, doing maybe a SEPT or a 401k or a defined benefit plan. Like, they should be doing their own stuff for retirement. So,
I don't think you should rely on the company for your retirement plan, right? I mean, and I agree with you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
So what happens, right? So these
what happens when the company if the company goes out of business, or when it goes out of business, right? I think that.
But if Remax goes out of business, is really all I'm going to do is
it's
I'm going to
irrelevant,
keep
right?
moving.
You can take your license and you can put it somewhere else, right?
Right, but I didn't lose anything that you guys had offered me as far as a retirement or building residuals, or which is one of the horrible things about real estate, is that the only residual you have is the customers that you're able to maintain and keep bringing back. And I feel that I'm very good at that. I feel like my customers, and if you're listening, you know that I treat you like family. I invite you to my house. Most agents never invite you to their house. I mean,
I've been there.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about my customers. Like, I invite my customers to my house. I bring them in. You know, I feed them. I, you know, provide them drinks. You know, I want my customers to know about me. I don't do it at a restaurant because I feel like that is removed from who I am, and you know, and
well, real estate's it's a people business, right? And you know, people do business with people they know, which they know you, they like, and they trust you. And you inviting somebody into your home, you know, that is a level of trust that you have with your consumers. But that's why you sell so many houses. I mean, let's be honest, right? That's why your business is so big, because, you know, you do so well. But you've leveraged, I would say, that Remax platform to help kind of take you to that. You've done all the work, so I'm not trying to take that away from you. But you had that strong backing. And I think that's where Remax doesn't have these shiny objects where they're trying to incentivize people to come in by offering them certain things that may or may not pan out for the future. I mean, really the business model is, hey, listen, if you want to be a real estate agent, you want to treat this like a business, you want to run it the way you want to run it, come over to us, we'll help you get there, but it's all about you. You know, and you know this. We never talk about me. We never talk about the office. Any of the agents, we're always putting our agents on a pedestal because it's your business, right? It's never, and let's say this never happens. Hopefully you never leave us, right? But if you ever left, it's never like, well, the business is our business or your clients are our business, right? It's not. You're not putting your clients in our database. Everything is to prop you as the agent up so you can be successful. Because the way I look at it is, if I can help you do that and you feel comfortable that, hey, Ben's not going to steal my clients, or Ben's going to be there to support me, or Ben's going to help me get out of, or Ben's going to help me get out of trouble, or whatever that is.
Let's hope I don't get in any
You never
trouble.
get in trouble. Trust me. For as much business as you do, you never get in trouble.
No, there's always something that happens.
But there's always something,
because
right?
that's just, the more business you do, the more things are going to happen. You come across things, and sometimes you need somebody to bounce that off. But, you know, I will say that, you know, I mean, listen, there's the positives and there's the negatives about Remax in general, right?
Of course.
But at the same time, like, what I think I'm trying to get across, because the show is about making money, right? is what makes you determine what brokerage you would pick. So if you're an agent and you want to pick a brokerage, how do you make that determination on what's the best fit, right?
Yeah, so I think you have to look at, obviously what it's going to cost you to be at the brokerage, but even more important like that, what brokerage is going to help you get to the next level. Because you can get 100, and this is the old thing, like 100% of a watermelon, or 100, what is it?
100% of nothing is nothing.
Right.
Right, so that's what I tell people when they're like if I bring somebody on, I'm like, okay, if I give you the lead, this is what the split's going to be, right? And they're like, well, that's a lot of money. I go, well, okay.
But if you got nothing, it doesn't matter, right?
Right, so what's 100% of nothing?
Right.
It's still nothing.
Right.
So everybody has to build their business, right?
Sure.
And so I look back and I look to see how I built my business. And so I think it's a really great tool to say, listen, I wasn't always me.
Right.
It's just like, you ever watch like a diet commercial and it says the results are not typical?
Absolutely.
Right? It's the same thing. So I tell people like the results are not typical, but the thing is that the one thing I can tell you that I learned is copy successful people.
Right. Right.
And if you copy successful people, you will be successful.
Well, I even say this, and we're in South Florida.
Yeah.
Do you golf?
I started.
Okay. If you want to play better golf, play with better golfers. It's the same thing. You want to surround
I'm
yourself.
screwed.
Well, you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, but successful people, because you are the who you surround yourself with. I mean, that's another old saying. But if you want to look, so you're not average, right? You're obviously above average.
But I'm definitely below average for golfing.
No, right. But if you want to look at averages, right? So if you want to talk about RE/MAX Direct specifically, even if you're average at our office, on average, our agents do on average 17 deals a year. On average, our agents make over $150,000 a year. On average, our agents do north of 6.6 million. That is more than double the average production.
Yeah, that was going to say the average agent does 7.5 deals. How it ends up to half, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But let's hold that for 1 minute. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back, and we'll talk about the next topic.
All right.
Whether you're buying, selling, refinancing, or building your dream home, you have a lot riding on your loan specialist. Max Fish, a top 1% mortgage loan officer in the nation, will give you a same-day qualifying quote. Max Fish is committed to providing his customers with mortgage services that exceed their expectations. Ensuring that you make the right choice for you and your family is his ultimate goal. Contact Max Fish today at 954-729-6933 or max.fisch@nwmcorp.net.
At Title Brothers LLC, our mission is to give you the best closing experience anywhere in the country. Founded in 2020 by Adam Lohman and Josh Wiseman, here at Title Brothers, we're your one-stop shop for residential real estate, title insurance, title and escrow services, real estate closing, and due diligence services. While primarily located in South Florida, we also host dozens of closings throughout the state and even electronically as requested. To contact the Title Brothers, call us at 954-995-4988 or visit our website and get a quick quote today.
You have been watching Making Money with Laura. For more information, contact Laura Sanders at 954-650-0827 or visit her website at thelaurazell.com. And now back to the show.
Hi, and welcome back to Making Money with Laura Sanders. I am your host. I am here with Ben Arce, the broker of RE/MAX Direct. RE/MAX Direct is the largest RE/MAX brokerage in South Florida, and they have 4 offices throughout Palm Beach and Broward County. So we're talking about the largest brokerages and what that means. So we were talking about being average, above average. We were talking about that most agents are about really 7.5 deals, but in our office, it's about 17 deals on the average, obviously. How many agents do we have?
100, last I checked, is like 174, I believe. Sometimes we get an agent, somebody will retire or drop off.
You don't even know that they dropped off.
Yeah, we typically don't lose a lot of agents. Our average tenure, speaking of averages, our average tenure is 17 years. So we've experienced agents that don't leave.
Wow.
Which makes, I guess, my job a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But that's not everybody, right? I mean, listen, we don't want, maybe somebody's watching and or listening and they're saying, well, you know what? I got to start somewhere, right? And RE/MAX is not a good fit because they're so good, right?
Right.
Which we are. But sometimes if you are a brand new agent, as I was at one point, as you were at some point, you had to start somewhere. And I think this is where we can talk about teams, right? I mean, teams are the way of the future.
So when I originally started,
Yeah.
I'm actually a licensed psychotherapist. I worked for a nonprofit organization as a therapist. I did that for many years. I'm licensed. So obviously being in real estate works out well, listening to people, right? Yeah. So, and I was a bartender too, so I just keep falling in the same thing. So when I started, a postcard came in the mail to me, and it was RE/MAX. And it was the only postcard that actually came in the mail. So I called the number, and I had an appointment at the time. It was Jim and Suzanne Dunn. They owned the RE/MAX that I originally started with. And I only left because they ended up going into a different way.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have left, you know. And they said, oh, we don't hire part-time agents. And I was like, okay, yeah, because I'm not quitting my job. I flat out told them, I'm like, I'm never quitting my job. I have a master's degree. Like, this is it. Like, I get health insurance. Like, you know, I make a whole $35,000 a year. Like, why would I leave that, right?
Yeah.
And they were laughing, and they go, you know, there's something about you that we're going to make an exception and hire part-time agent. So they put me on their done team. You know, the deal's done.
Sure.
Since their last name.
Yep.
And, you know, my first year in the business, I did $50,000 in commissions.
Yeah. So
I made $35,000 as a therapist.
it was an
with a
easy choice,
degree.
right? Yeah.
But I had to give them half of my commission.
Sure.
You know, I wasn't paying they were paying my, you know, it was like.
But that's okay, right? So like we were talking about this earlier. I mean, the industry has changed, but, you know, your gross commission was 50, you had to give them half.
Right.
They gave you a chance. And what did you learn probably in that first year that you probably wouldn't have learned, or maybe it would have taken you 2, 3, 4 years?
And it wasn't
to
easy.
learn?
Let me just tell you. First of all, scary as anything about writing a contract. Scary, scary, scary. I mean, I get so scared, right? And then not only was it scary to write a contract, but then it was also going on the listing appointment and not really knowing what to do, and you know. And I have to tell you, like along the way of the 20 years I was with them, I taught them things along my way of things of changing, you know, as along the way that they've taught me things. But it really was a learning curve, like down to how to market your sphere. I mean, I wish, you know, people always ask me, if you could tell me one thing that you would tell people when they get into real estate, what should they do? Focus on your sphere.
Sure.
Your sphere, and you're like, what's that? That's like the people that you know and trust, like people, like, and it just be like you're going to
it's your
marketing.
contacts in your phone is what I said.
Yeah, pretty much. And like my contacts in my phone, there's so many in there. Like I could sit here and call people all day long, you know, and never be bored. So in retirement, I'll probably start calling them. I'll be like, oh, I could have got more business if I just sat here and did this, right?
Yeah.
Just saying, just check and see if this is still your number. I'm retired now, but I just wanted to know. And they're like, oh, you're not doing real estate? No, but I'll refer you to somebody.
Right.
Whoever I give my business to, right?
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, as a brand new agent, right, I mean, it's...
And I'm offering people to come under me and learn.
I think, truthfully, and you know this, right, so the real estate class doesn't teach you real estate. It teaches you how to pass the exam. Right, so once you pass the exam, you get your certificate, and then you go broker shopping. Sure, you can hang your license anywhere and start selling, but you don't know what you don't know, just like anything else in life. I almost wish this was a mandate. I wish people joined teams the first 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years of their career. I know people that have been in teams for 20 years just because things work, right? So when we talk, when I'm saying I get, you know, we're not great for brand new agents or part-time agents. We're still not great for part-time agents, but if you're brand new and you need the mentorship. Even somebody like joining your team, right? You know, I think they should find you. They should find somebody like you. They should find somebody to mentor them because, again, you don't know what you don't know. Selling real estate for most people, it's the most expensive transaction they're going to do their entire life. And if you're brand new and you just passed your license, I mean, let's call it what it is. You don't know what you're doing, and you put yourself in a lot of, you know, or get yourself in a lot of trouble, put your broker in a lot of trouble. So I think you should find a team leader and join that team, whether it is only going to be, I mean, listen, hopefully they stay with you forever, but I think 36 months minimum to really build a strong foundation.
And really understand it and get,
there's
and you're building
We're learning something every day, you know? You still learn stuff every day. I learn stuff every day. You know,
I learned something today. I can't remember what it was, but I did learn something today. I can't remember. I'll remember at the end of the day. But I remember saying, okay, that was a new one for me, right?
Yeah. I get those calls every day, you know, from our agents.
Yeah, you know what it was? It was on an estoppel. That's what it was. On the estoppel, it says upcoming assessment, right? Still to be determined. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, if I'm the buyer's agent, right, I'm going to go, okay, upcoming assessment, still to determine. So is there something to pay? Is there not something to pay? Like, how do you determine? And the seller's asking me, so do I have to pay for something or do I not? I go, I've never seen this before.
And we have to work through it, right?
Yeah. And I said, when we get to that point, we'll discuss it, you know, because you can't keep saying what's going to happen if, what's going to happen if. So, you know, bottom line is I think in the end, what we're trying to tell everybody is that RE/MAX is a great place to be a realtor at. It is the largest real estate company in the world. We are worldwide. You can refer your clients out to a plethora of places that I think is really big, because most people are like, if like they have an agent that speaks Spanish, they're like, oh, well, you can send me to, and I'm like, I can send you everywhere. It doesn't matter if I speak Spanish or not, because, you know, all I have to do is get into our network. And we have a huge network. And people look out for me because I am one of the top agents in the United States. So
well, they come to you as a resource.
Yeah, and I'm number 52 in the world. So that means that out of like all these countries and everything, I think that's pretty good.
That's over 140,000 globally.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think that's not bad.
Nationally, about 100, just shy of 100,000. So I mean, you do well.
So
you've done good.
I want to thank you for coming out on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I want to thank everybody for watching. If you have any questions, if you want to speak to Ben about joining our brokerage, you can reach out to me at my phone number at 954-650-0827, or you can go to my website at laurasell.com. And if you know anybody that is licensed or has a ton of real estate experience, I'm hiring a full-time assistant, so you can give me a call. Thanks everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you for tuning in for Making Money with Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. To join the conversation, call us at the studio, 888-994-4995 Studio A, or contact Laura directly at 954-650-0827. Laura Sanders, a name you can trust. We look forward to seeing you next week.